Welcome to day 2 at Pikes Peak International Raceway and Global Time Attack's Ascend Music and Motorsport Festival. We had an exciting day 1. Time Attack records broken, drivers with drama coming back, getting things done, and we'll go over some of that for you as the event goes on. We have 2 sessions of exciting Time Attack action before the first set of awards go out. For those of you wondering why I said first set of awards, this event is special. We do 6 sessions of Time Attack for the first set of awards and money payouts. I'll go over the payouts soon. And then we have a night track battle from 6:30 to 8. The winner of the track battle goes home with $10,000. So let's go ahead and go into the standings between yesterday's event. That way you know who's sitting on what. In enthusiast class with a 103.908 is Ernie Ramirez. We have Elijah in second and Helena in third. For those of you wondering, enthusiast will pay out $1,500 for first, $750 for second, and $250 for third. Jumping over to street class, Isaac Torres is leading one of the tightest battles we have here at the Ascend Music and Motorsport Festival with a 59.5. Both Anthony Pearson and Rico Grajeda are on his tails with Chris Matthews just behind. Street class pays out $3,000 to first, $1,500 to second, and $1,000 to third. Moving to limited, where Ben Dankers was not even able to run the first 3 sessions because of a tranny and clutch issue that his team worked overnight and through the day to fix, is leading with a 58.008. Behind him, Tim Shepner and Joaquin Sangard right on his tail. Michael Sims is very close to getting on this podium. Limited pays out $4,000 for first, $2,000 for second, $1,500 for third. Now, the unlimited class is, of course, led by the record holder himself, Faris Khartoumi. He has not yet hit his 53.097 to take the $10,000 payout for breaking the track overall. Once again, guys, anyone goes faster than a 53.097, that's $10,000 in their pocket. But for being in first, he does get $5,000 if it stands. Second gets $2,500 and third gets $1,500. We also do have a few GTX cars competing here. That's Chris Shellhart with a 103.461 in his DTM style BMW, and Ray Guerrero with 104.640 in his Porsche GT2 RS Club Sport. The GTX payout is $1,500 for first and $750 for second. These drivers are getting ready to go out, go hot. The one person we don't have on track right now is Faris Khartoumi. It looks like his team is trying to get the car ready, but currently we have Dominic Tapia, Ben Dankers, and Cable Rosenberg sitting on grid. Let's go ahead and get the schedule up for you guys so you know what you're looking at. Once again, we're going to have nothing but Time Attack for the morning. It's from 8 a.m. to 10:55. It's going to be 2 full sessions of Time Attack. We run 6 run groups, and we're going to do that back-to-back. It does look like we have Cable coming to grid. You'll be able to see him right there getting on the straight. Now, at 11:30, that's the first set of awards. There'll be drift, drag, and burnouts through the day, car awards, car shows, and the awards. Then at 6:30 p.m., we will start our Time Attack battle. That battle will go live from 6:30 to 8. There will be 3 sessions. It'll start with a large group of cars all the way down to 3 cars left at the end, and those final 3 cars will be battling for $10,000. Now, these cars are going live. Faris did come out, but he did tell him to send the other cars ahead. That means he either needs to test something or he has a small issue he wants to take care of without getting in the way of the session. A lot of you may recognize this car. Dominic Tapia is now campaigning it. Derek Boyd used to. This is an amazing team, an amazing setup. They run Pikes Peak. They try to run as many Time Attack events as they can. Dominic's out here just pulling lap time like crazy. I'm not 100% positive of how much seat time he has in this car, but I can tell you in the sessions he ran yesterday, he was pulling seconds out. He's sitting 2 seconds behind Faris, and Cable sitting 2 seconds behind him. Now, never to make an excuse for a driver, but Cable is running into some traction control issues. Obviously, a lot of you hear that and are confused, but we're talking 1,200 horsepower twin-turbo Viper on Motec. Traction control is actually used as a positive. This is not your factory traction control system that's pulling everything out from you. So hopefully they got that taken care of. Ben Dankers has a new set of tires and wheels on the car. For those of you that didn't know about Ben Dankers, his wheels got stolen in New Mexico on the way out here. So he picked up a new set also and a new clutch, so his team had to repair. Everyone seems to be starting a flyer. Cable is out on track, but it does look like Ferris also went out on track. We are unsure if he's going to go for a hot lap. He may have an issue or not, but we'll see now. Everyone is about to go across start-finish. Ferris is probably breaking in a set of tires. He is cruising right now. To go over the weather, it's 65 degrees and very cold out there. And he is spinning out in probably one of the sketchiest sections of the track. That is where the drifting goes on, so the grip in that area is not the strongest. And truth be told, when your tires are cold and nothing's up to temperature, it's very easy to just come around on a car and braking with a little bit of turn in. Ben will come around, make sure the car has no issues, might come into the hot pits to have him check it out, and then go again. Dominic Tapia starting out this session, though, with a 59.723, a few seconds off his fastest, but a lot of these drivers were picking up lap time second and third lap. Oh, it looks like Cable has a lot more confidence in the car now. He is taking it deeper into one. The traction control must be working. Cable with a 1 minute 44.36. Ben Dankers is coming into the hot pits. Have his team check it out really quick. Make sure that spin was just due to cold tires and nothing odd was going on. Here's Ferris starting his first hot lap. Dominic Tapia down to a 56.562. We're going to follow Ferris around this lap if we can. See if this is the session where he resets his own overall record. Here we have him now. He is heading towards that very slippery section. We saw Ben spin there, but I was talking to Ferris yesterday about this after the event, and he said it himself. There was a time where he almost put it into the wall. Just the car wasn't braking, it wasn't turning. He was on cold tires. We're talking about different kinds of rubber down, which creates different grip levels. So they have a lot to battle against right now. Ferris's new chassis looks so planted. It's very clean. Anyone who remembers watching his old chassis knows he spent so much time developing that car. It was bouncy. Ferris with a 59.517. Cable with a 56.366. Guys, Cable was unable to get out of the 58s yesterday with the traction control off, and now he's in the 56s. Dominic Tapia comes back to him, though, with a 56.172. It does look like we have a true competition here in Unlimited class for these payouts. Ferris better get a few things together, because if these guys are able to continue to drop time, they're going to be fighting for his first place spot. Once again, Cable with a 56. This was a 56.861. Pulling 2 seconds out of his fastest lap from yesterday is just incredible. On a 1.3 mile course to find 2 seconds, that means you got your setup down packed. There it is, Ferris Khartoumi at 54.758. Once again, over a second off his record, but he's getting down there. Dominic Tapia coming in for a lap. It looks like he has also been stagnant at 56. Now he's at 56.265. These drivers have another 4.5 minutes or so to set another flying lap. Cable, if he cools it down, he may be able to get another flyer, or he may just need the time to just push the car. He is on some brand new Michelin slicks. They are known to be able to take the heat for quite some time, so this really just comes down to Cable and his ability to come around this track. That twin turbo Viper is just moving, though. With Dominic Tapia going across start-finish, we do also have Ferris Khartoumi coming into the pits. He laid down a 54. He's going to go ahead and pull in, see if anyone's going to check his car out, and then he may go out again. We still have 3.5 minutes left on this session. great job in this braking zone. You carry so much speed down the back straight. Going into this, it's so easy to just overcook it and take it wide. These are the areas where you really want to minimize and maximize the amount of time you spend in the corners, on the gas, on the brakes. Cable's car just takes all my attention in the tower when he's driving down the front straight. This is the area where you want to shortcut as much of the track as possible, try to get the shortest line, but also on these final S's, try and carry as much speed out. Oh, what a shot. Look at him taking this wide. He's going to take this corner wide to try to get a straight shot onto the straight, and this is where he's just going to put the power to the ground. This car is not slow, by the way, guys. This car makes power. It moves, but being on track with Cable and with Ferris, it's hard to tell. Here we have Cable coming at us. Look at aggressive ACR front end. He's using a whole bunch of curb there, a good amount of that curb. See, straight lining it. Cable's taking a much tighter line. He's relying on the fact that I have all the bald eagle power in the world. I do not need to slingshot this because my car will go fast. Looks like the team did figure out Ben Danker's car. If we can follow Ben's car around this lap, that'd be great. He had a small little spin out there, but Ben's team was under the hood, made sure nothing was out of whack, and it looks like he's going to go for a flyer. Ben is in the 58s, but he knows the car has a 57 in it. Let's see if we can follow Ben around this lap. Honestly, those silver wheels also look great on the car right now. I love the car with the black and orange livery and the black wheels with the silver pops. Taking deep into the brake zone. This is where he's hard on the brakes. Let's see if he can keep it nice and tidy through here. Looks like he was more middle of the road there. And here's where he lost it on the last lap. Looks like he got his brake zone down. He's not hugging so much. I could tell he's dealing with some understeer right now. Ben tends to carry more of the inside there, but let's see how he deals with these curbs. He's going to hug that one. He's going to use a good amount of this one to hook the car around. And then he's going to take this one wide to use as much straight line as he can through the front straight. Ben's car looking really smooth and clean around there. A 58.275. He's close to his fastest lap of a 58.008. Now let's see if he can lay down another one right here. The car seems to be working. I don't know if we have tire rub there. He's only smoking on the bank. I feel like we're dealing with some tire rub on this new wheel and tire setup. It does suck. His custom-made wheels were stolen out of his trailer in New Mexico, so he had to find another set of wheels to run. The offset on these may not be optimal for what he's doing, but the car has no smoke issues whatsoever in a straight line, so he's absolutely probably dealing with tire smoke. Looks like he's got a little better turn in this lap. The tires are probably under him a little bit more. With the weather being so cool and the sun not being on all portions of the track, he's working hard to get his tires in. 65 degrees right now. Ben hugging the top there. 58.095. Ben in the 58 strong. He's going to have to hope that those times hold, though. We have quite a few other limited runners about to go out in TA2, and everyone's shooting for that first place spot. Ben is holding first strong, though. Ferris, first place in Unlimited. Cable took Dominic out, but Dominic came back and took 2/10 back out of him. So we got 54.758, 56.172, and then a 56.366. Ben Dakers with a 58.095. All right, and here we have people gridding up for TA2. First person in this grid is Mr. Tim Shepner, one of the prettiest Evos in North American Time Attack. Don't let Ben hear me say that, though. He hates when I say that. The car is gorgeous, though. But the other thing going on is Tim is right on Ben's heels for first place in limited class. He's definitely going to want to go out there and put the fastest lap he can down now. Beautiful weather, sun on the track, engines are happy. Behind him, though, is Mr. Isaac Torres, 59008, if I'm not mistaken. He is so close to being in the 58s, and he said his goal for the weekend is 57s. With the street competitors being within tenths of him up until third, I believe it's half of a second difference. These guys definitely have to put in all the work they can to go as fast as they can, because if you rest on yesterday's laurels, you're not going to go home in the same place that you came in. Also in this run group, we're going to have a Joaquin Sangard in his McLaren 720 and an Anthony Pearson in that lap sector Toyota Supra. Anthony has definitely been driving the wheels off this thing. We've been watching him all weekend. He may or may not have the same power as Isaac Torres, but he definitely has the same drive and the same willingness to really push the car out there. Both these drivers are hanging it all out, and in some areas it looks like they're hanging out too much, but they're still going fast. If they can clean up that tire spin, clean up those reverse lock entries, I think we could see both of these guys in the 58s and 57s. Look at that GTA crew making sure we have a good shot of these cars. Tim Shepner's car. You know, gray has never been the way for me. I'm not going to lie. It just doesn't pop enough on track, but I just can't do anything but love Tim's car. I really love what Isaac's done with the livery on this Supra. You cannot miss that thing. McLarens are beautiful as they sit, and this yellow Supra is trying really hard to hide behind that pole, but we see you. We know you're going to go fast. Good news as opposed to yesterday is we have basically no wind. These drivers aren't fighting a crosswind on the bank. They're not trying to, control their car while this wind is pushing their aero a different direction. We're also not dealing with crazy sun yet. We did see two drivers set faster laps already. Let's see if Tim can pull it out of the hat right now. Tim is chasing Ben Dankers. These guys are great friends. Honestly, a lot of our Time Attack competitors are great friends. They help each other. They do whatever they can. But once that helmet's on, it's all about who wins. And, the rivalry between Tim and Ben is huge. Everyone says Tim's car looks better than Ben's. Ben says I'm faster. You know how this goes, okay? Form over function, function over form. Tim wants to prove that you can have both. Looks like we have everyone starting their first hot laps. Tim with his first hot lap starting. Isaac Torres just behind him. Looks like Isaac has gained a lot of confidence in his car the way he took turn 1 through the bank. Tim keeping it nice and tidy through that slow speed corner. A lot of drivers have been getting caught up and pushed through the middle there. Now let's hope Tim doesn't run into any traction issues in this corner. It is a common issue with these drivers. Got a good turn in. He was able to really hook the inside of that curb. Tim's got this car hooked up. Now if he can put the power down where it matters, he may be able to give Ben a run for his money. These cars are very similar as far as power goes. It's just their setups are different. Taking it right up against that wall. Tim with a 1 minute .295. He's got to pull a couple seconds out of this. Got to pull at least 1.5 right now on this lap. Isaac Torres with a 101.006. He is in the 59s with his fastest lap so far. This is Anthony Pearson right here, trying to finish his first hot lap. About to have Joaquin Sandgaard go across start finish with a 1 minute .432. And a 101.136, Anthony Pearson. The two street class cars are right on each other's tails. The two limited class cars who have gone faster yesterday are trying to get back up to pace. Tim still in the 1 minutes, took a couple tenths off, but we're going to have to pick up a little more than that. It does look like Anthony Pearson overcooked it into that low-speed corner. With it only being 1.3 miles, there's minimal space for mistakes, and there's also minimal space to make up improvements. You really need to put it all together at once to set a fast lap here. This isn't a 13 or 14 turn course. This isn't a course with significant long speed straightaways. It's just all about you putting it all together. Now, Isaac did find his way back into the 59s. His record right now, he does hold the street rear-wheel drive record and street overall, is a 59.5, so he's 37 slower than what he was yesterday. If he can really get a lap together, get these tires under him, we know he's significantly in the 58s. And Tim with a 59.132. There we go. Now he's pulling time out of it. Grabbed a whole second out of that lap. Whether he improved in the infield or was able to carry more speed around the roval, we're unsure, but there's always somewhere to find space. 59.465 from Isaac Torres. He surpasses his 59.5 from yesterday. I'm sure he's not going to be extremely happy about that. He set himself his goal as 57s, but anytime you go faster than you did is just going to help you stamp the fact that I'm in first place and I want to keep this spot. Tim really has the infield going. It looks like he jumped out a little early there, bounced him out, but Tim's infield looks the smoothest out of this limited class competition so far. Looks like both Anthony Pearson and Joaquin Sandgaard went a little bit slower. Tim's coming in. Looks like he's going to his crew right now. He's got about 4.5 minutes before he 4.5 minutes left. Ooh, a little slippery in there. You're carrying a lot of speed into that braking zone. I don't think people understand, but the camera is doing such a great job tracing the car. It makes them look like they may not be moving as fast as they are, but you're carrying back straightaway speed into a left-hand kink, into a hard braking zone to bring it back into the infield. There's just no room for error on such a small course. Isaac went even faster on that last lap with a 59.427, took a couple hundredths off. Isaac's on a cooldown. I don't know if he's going to come in or start another flyer, but it does look like he was getting sideways in the infield. I think if he really wants to cool these tires off, he'd have to do another lap, but let's see. He may just Yeah, it looks like right here he's going to do a cool down lap. He's going to let the car come back to him. For those of you watching and wondering, this is time attack. All that matters is that they set their fastest lap. It doesn't matter if it's on the first lap, if it's on the 30th lap, if it's on the 1,000th lap, or they only set one lap. If you have the fastest lap of your class, you win that class. So these drivers are doing everything and anything in their power to try and keep the car under them. If that means doing a 70% lap to let the tires come back, let the engine temps drop, just so they can go back out to send it 10 tenths again, they will. Joaquim is on a flyer right now. He did a cool down last lap. Let's see what he lays down. A 101.122, about a second off his fastest. Does look like Tim Shepner came in, talked to his team, may have reset some tire pressures and is back out on a hot lap. And here we are. Let's see if we can follow Isaac Torres around this hot lap. He wants to be in the 58s at least, starting a fresh lap. He did half of a cool down lap 2 laps ago. He did basically 1.5 cool downs. Let's see if that's enough to get this car back under him. For those of you wondering, he is a high school student, boys and girls. He's working for his dad in the summer. He's been competing with his dad for almost a year now. You don't meet many 17 or 18-year-olds with this much car control, though I promise you every 17 or 18-year-old you meet says they have this much car control. Isaac has really proven that he's got a hot shoe. He makes small mistakes and he repairs them quickly. He may overcook a corner 1 lap and he doesn't do it again, using all of that inside curbing. He's hunting for a 58, boys. He's at a 59.427, fastest lap for him of this event. $59.605, so close to going faster, but that car's got speed in it. Let's give him another clean session with a nice cool car and some warm tires. I think we'll see a 58 out of Isaac before this event's over. If Tim is on a flyer, this is going to be his final lap. They just threw checkers. So obviously any lap that is active will be allowed. For those of you wondering, checker flag, obviously, if you cross it if you cross it before the checker is thrown, you get to complete that lap. It's like any kind of qualifying out there. Tim is on it. Obviously, Tim wants to take the glory home, but he also just wants to be as fast as he can be. He's great program, always comes with his family, wife and kids. These guys live and breathe motorsports. Looks like neither him or Joaquim were able to go faster on that last lap. That is going to be the end of Session 5, Group 2. While these cars are coming in and cooling down, we'll get Group 3 gridded up. I believe we have Cable Rosenberg down there who just picked up 2 seconds off his fastest lap from yesterday. Let's see what Jason's got with him.
Good morning, race fans. I'm here in the pits, in the garages with Cable Rosenberg, He was just out there in the first run group of the day, the first session. Want to get a quick update on the car and the track and how you feeling?
Very good today. Yesterday we were having traction control problems. And with 1,300 horsepower, it was undrivable. But we got that fixed this morning. Went almost 3 seconds faster right off the bat. So
that's huge. All right. We're looking forward to seeing what's going on the rest of the day then. Hopefully things keep pushing, right?
Yep. Will do.
Awesome. Thank you for the update. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.
Almost 3 seconds out of cable. His team is working their butts off to try and make sure this event is everything they can make it. Looks like we do have Group 3 starting to line up. Group 2 is coming off track. These drivers have all seen a nice clean track out here. It looks like we don't have any complaints yet of any issues. We see some excitement though. Rock and roll signs coming from all these drivers coming off track. It's great to be in this tower. These drivers are so excited. I'm looking at a Michael Sims. I'm looking at a Rico Grajeda. All right, looks like I'm a Rico Grajeda in his Toyota Supra. He is very, very close to first place. I believe he's in third. That's how close first, second, and third are. We have Michael Sims in his limited class Porsche GT3RS. Chris Matthews in his Subaru WRX STI. I didn't get a chance to find out why they had to tow him off yesterday, but whatever it was, it's taken care of. And we have Michael Pastore in his Audi S3. For those of you that heard JD talk to Michael yesterday, he actually bought this car to get out of modifying vehicles. It's an addiction he's had, and he figured if he bought a nice, comfortable street car, he wouldn't modify it, and now look at him. These drivers are getting lined up. They're going to have 1 or 2 minutes. I think we have JD downstairs pulling people out of cars after sessions. Who do you have down there, JD?
Welcome back, race fans. We're here at Ascend Motorsports Festival, GTA and PPIR, standing here with Mr. Ben Dankers. He just came off of his first session of the day, day 2 here, final day. How'd it go out there?
It went pretty well. I mean, we ran into my brakes locked. And so we had to adjust for that. But I mean, the car's definitely faster first session compared to the afternoon session. So, hopefully in the next session we'll be good to go. So,
awesome. Good luck out there. Thanks for the update. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, man.
All right.
That gentleman you saw down there with Ben Dankers, that's Steve-O. We like to call him Evo Steve-O. He did a clutch on this car in the middle of the night yesterday. 2 nights ago, I apologize. In practice, the clutch failed. Ben drove 2.5 hours total, came back with a clutch. Huge shout out to Nick Steniford and Savannah Little. They allowed that team to use their garage. They are a staple here at PPIR, and they have a lift in their garage. But anyone who's ever done a clutch on an Evo 8 will tell you it's not like doing a clutch on a Honda. That is a lot of work, a lot of time, especially when on a flat bottom vehicle, big aero, everything has to go back together a specific way. Those guys worked their butts off all the way through the second session to come out on the third and go fast. Ben came out his very first session yesterday in the heat and took first place in limited class. I tried to catch up with them when the event was over, and they were gone. Word on the street is they got in their truck and drove straight to the hotel. And you know what? It's a well-deserved sleep. Meanwhile, we do have this run group going out. Nice little split through them. This here, Rico Grajeda, if we can follow Rico around his first hot lap, he was super excited. He felt like he had a lot more left in the car. This is going to be the session, in our opinion, where if you think you have a lot left in it, this is where you're going to want to lay it down. So he's scrubbing the tires, making sure they're clean. For those of you wondering, you can put a little bit of heat in the tires doing this, but all the tire heat comes from heavy braking and acceleration zones. So he'll want to go ahead and be nice and smooth and then hard on the brakes. Make sure scrub off any debris from this warm-up lap. Trying to set up a nice wide line on his first hot lap. You want to use as much speed as you can. There's no negative to doing this on your first lap, as it's not affecting the end of a lap. keeping it nice and clean through that low-speed left-hander. That corner looks like it's going to open up, but it never does, so these drivers kind of get tricked into it sometimes. Good turn in, really smooth through the infield. It looks like he has the car hooked up. Whatever setup changes he made from today to yesterday, be it a driver change, an air pressure change, a shock change, he's really got this car hooked up on the infield. Now the question is, can he put the power down here and try and get into that sub 1 minute area? That's a 1 minute .521 on his first lap. Still got plenty left in it. Tires should be nice enough to temp now. Being a 1.3 mile circuit, doing 2 laps back to back is just like doing 1 hot lap on a normal course. So you should have no problem setting down another flyer. Michael Sims with a 101.905. We got Chris Matthews with a 101.908. These drivers are staying tight. Ooh, little reverse lock there. See, this is where you don't want to give up the time. This is going to be your fastest lap right here. Nice shot of Michael Pastore getting there on the front straight. Taking the inside line there, very strong. He's going to try and get as much power down as he can right here. Let's see if he can go faster than that 1 minute .5. 59.540. He is so close. He'd have been 400ths off of first place yesterday, but Isaac Torres did pick up some time. But Rico said he had a sub-minute in there. He absolutely pulled a sub-minute out. Look like Michael Sims really outbroke himself there. He's taken the drifter line through that corner. Ooh. Looks like he started to turn in. The rear end wanted to leave him, and he had to counter steer there, so he was wide through that corner. This infield is beating him up on this lap. Michael Sims has some very clean laps through the infield, so I know he's going to be unhappy with that. But good news is he's in a great car. He can continue to lap, so we may see another fast lap out of him. Rigo tried to lay down another flyer, but it was a 1 minute flat. Chris Matthews with a 101.883 right behind Michael Sims. He really picked up the pace on the infield. It looks like he's, whatever small dramas or issues he had yesterday, they are sorted because he is laying down some fast laps. Michael Pastore, am I unmuted? Michael Pastorio, 102.213 on that last lap. He's being very consistent now. Looks like Rigo went for another flyer, didn't cool the car down. Oh, he's actually doing a flyer now. He took about 10 seconds off that lap. Maybe a little faster than you expect on a cool down lap, but he felt like it was enough. Michael Sims, a 101.665. Chris Matthews, a 101.451. Chasing down that Porsche GT3, caught him some pace. Rigo 59.713, very close, but he's going to have to pick up a tenth or two on his next session to try to catch up to Isaac, and that's assuming that Isaac doesn't pick up a few tenths himself. These drivers are 5 laps in of basic hot laps. So while most of these drivers cool it down, we may see another hot lap out of them. Let's go ahead and go over what classes are here at PPIR and GTA's Ascend Music and Motorsport Festival. Enthusiast class will always have the yellow number placard on our timing and scoring. That's as close as you're going to get to an HBDE car, a street car that you drive on the track. Those are driver must be the registered owner. GTA has no engine mod restrictions. Factory transmissions only, they can be built, but it still has to be a standard transmission. Minimal aero, engine swaps limited to the engine available in that chassis. People ask that. If you have an EG Honda Civic, you can put a B16 in it because that was available in Japan. Got to be on 220 or higher treadwear tires. Bumping up the street, that's the first true time attack class. This is where obviously no pro drivers, but you can have a friend with a hot shoe. Unlimited engine mods. Still no sequentials, but you're allowed a dog box transmission. Moderate aero mods, aka 5-inch splitters, when could be 5 inches back. Engine swaps are limited to engines from that manufacturer. Same thing, you have an EG, you could put a J series in it. A little bit bigger tires, 180 tread wear. Limited class is where the aero life starts to get big. Let's think of Ben Danker's car, where you're allowed big front arrows. You have 14-inch aero box on the front end, big rear wing, multi-plane wings. Sequential transmissions are allowed, but they cannot be paddle shifted. It still has to be rod actuated. And engine swaps are open. Unlimited class, the Ferris Khartoumis, the Cable Rosenbergs, the Dominic Tapias. This is where, in Unlimited, this is where you can basically do whatever you want. Sequentials are allowed, and they can be paddle shifted. Aero mods are open. Now, people ask us why we give them unlimited room here. Well, you're not going to build a front splitter that's as wide as the track. It's not efficient. They could just do whatever they please for aerodynamics. We're talking cutting tunnels in the car, whatever they want. Pro drivers are allowed, and the tire brand's open. You can run any dot. I know that Cable and Ferris are both running Michelin slicks. I believe that Dominic's on Hoosier A7s. These tires are completely open. GTX is where you're going to see the BMW DTM car and like Ray Guerrero's Club Sport. These are factory race cars, what we would call bodies in white. These are cars that never had a VIN production. They were made for one purpose and one purpose only, and that was to be on a racetrack. Now, obviously, pro drivers allowed unlimited mods. Imagine our unlimited class, but with race chassis. It's a class created to allow these guys to come out and really show their prowess, show how far they've pushed a factory race car. Same thing is open across the board. Now, Rigo Grajeda coming with a 59.5. I mean, Isaac Torres better open his eyes because he is no longer leading street class with a big margin. We're talking 1/10 of a second here, guys. So our podium was already within half a second first to third. Now we're talking 1/10 of a second between first and second. So these drivers are really going to have to come out next session and push as far as they can. We have seen street, limited, and unlimited so far in these run groups. Now we'll see more of street, enthusiast, and GTX. While these drivers are coming in and cooling down and we get more drivers out onto the grid for their run groups, it seems JD has pulled someone out of a car. Let's see what's going on down there.
I'm back in the pits with Dominic Tapia. I was stoked to see the car out there on the track in the first session. Tell everybody how it went for you out there.
Really well. We had a change in our tire strategy. We switched compounds to a tire that could hopefully last the whole session and not heat up and burn out too fast. And it seemed to work out for us today.
Awesome. We got one more session left. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking don't lift in the banking. I think that's where most of my time's going to be, and I'm hoping to crack 55s. So.
Awesome. All right. Don't tune out, tune in, stay on board. Let's see if he gets to that 55 number. We're all rooting for you. Good luck today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. We have Dominic Tapia down there. He himself said he's got to stay matted through the bank. He thinks he's got 55s in the car, and I think he does too. That's rough news for Cable, though, because he's going to have to do the same thing. You heard Cable down there. I mean, 1,300 horsepower, it's not just something that's easy to put to the ground. He's got to have the confidence in the car, into the electronics, and everything functioning in that vehicle. But so far, it looks like they've both been doing a great job. If they can break into the 55s, we may see a battle for first, but if you ask me, I think Ferris is holding on to something for that last session. He does have some pretty incredible predictive lap times. Obviously, predictive means You put every single sector of the track together of all your sessions to see what it could be. No one's ever going to drive that perfect lap, guys. Anyone who's been doing time attack long enough knows you're always striving for that one perfect lap, and the reason you do so is because it doesn't exist. But that doesn't mean that he can't string something together to put himself in the 52s. While he's doing that, we do have drivers getting ready for TA4 Group 4 Session 5. Remember, guys, we're going straight into the next session. It's back-to-back. These drivers do not have time to relax. Think of drag racing right now. We're in the cutoff. We're at the finals time. You don't have time to go to your garage and put new pistons and rods in. You go there, you cool it down, check tire pressures, get your mental right, and then you got to come right back out. Group 4 Session 5 goes live soon. And if you guys thought I was hyped right now, JD is running around these pits like a chicken with his head cut off. JD, what awesomeness have you found down there?
Welcome to the Ascend pits here at PPIR with Global Time Attack driver Tim Schropner. You had your first session out today. Usually that's a good session for Time Attack teams and Time Attack drivers. How was it for you?
It could have been way better. We're still chasing that 58. Yesterday we cracked my turbo manifold, so in the last session, so we missed 2 sessions yesterday, which would have been valuable for data and all that kind of stuff. So today is kind of a fresh start. We managed to get everything fixed. Local guy here helped us get the manifold together, which was awesome, because when you're here at the track, you're scrambling like, what do we do? And I must say the Time Attack community is pretty rad, because we found somebody within 5 minutes willing to help and took it to a shop and welded it. We had it back on at 9, so we're here running. So we're hoping next session is going to be a little faster, because track's clean. I had a couple boo-boos last session, so just gotta hone it in, man.
Right on. So there's some time left.
There he is.
All right, awesome. So we're definitely going to be watching. We're rooting for you. And, much respect and much love to the Time Attack community, whoever those people were that helped you out yesterday. That's huge. You hear about that kind of stuff all the time. And, it really what keeps us all back doing this all the time, and the love.
Absolutely. Yeah, from here to there, we're helping that guy to this guy to that guy. Everybody just, grab what you need in your box. Toolbox is open. It's family, man. I love it.
Yep, 100%. Thank you guys for watching. Tim Schropner. Make sure you follow along. He's going to push the car. He's got one more session today in the official Time Attack. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
JD down there with Tim. Tim said he made some boo-boos. He boo-booed his way to a 59, though, boys and girls, which means he's got more on the table. He has to get in those 58s. You could see just behind his car, he's pitted right next to Ben Dankers. Those are the 2 people competing for first place right now. Let's not count out third, though, but Tim's really going to have to pull it out to make sure that he can get as much as he can in this session coming up. He's not the first driver to say the track is really clean right now. We are having, luckily, 0 issues this weekend. I don't want to give the commentators curse or anything like that, but it's been clean as can be. No fluid down, no debris. These drivers have had a chance to just go fast every single session. We have Ray Guerrero in the car 888 GTX class, GT2 Club Sport. He's really out there. He's been picking up lap time yesterday towards the end of the day. I don't know if it was a setup change or a tire change, but he went from being kind of timid in the car to really comfortable. So let's see what kind of lap times he can lay down. He's chasing Chris Shellhart, who we may not see on track again, the BMW GC10 V8. The reason for that is they've been fighting transmission issues the entire weekend. We were super stoked to see him lay down a flyer, but their parts are 10 months out from Germany. So they didn't want to completely grenade the car, but they did not want to cause an issue either. Behind him is Josh Tanguy in that Audi TTRS. I had a good chance to talk to him after the event. He had his teammate come down with a computer to be able to shut off some electronics. They've been fighting some ABS and traction control issues also, but the opposite of cables. They're trying to turn them off because the factory system's so intrusive. Now the problem is, like he said in his interview, he was dealing with some possible resistor issues. and he's having a shock light just beeping full time, and it comes up in the bank, and that makes sense because in the bank, compression loaded, inside tire is spinning differently than outside tire, and you're just going to run into a car thinking that you're losing traction full time. So if he got that figured out, he picked up a couple seconds even with the traction issues. I think we're going to see him lay down some faster laps. Let's see if we can follow Mr. Guerrero around this track. Looks like he's not on the brakes through the bank, but he could possibly carry more speed. It's hard for me to say from the tower. I don't like to side seat drive over here. It's so hard to tell when the camera's following. It does look like Josh Tangy did do a 105 off the rip. Let's go ahead and pick up the Audi if we can. Ray got out of the way for him, so he's probably cooling the car down a little bit. Josh, on the other hand, seems to be going full tilt. Josh always said that he's extremely comfortable in the bank here. This is a home track for him, so he's not so concerned about the bank. He wants to make sure the traction issues are gone, and so he can send it through the bank and make sure his infield's as clean as can be. Another 105. We're going to have Ray start a flyer here, if I'm not mistaken. You know, 113, so let's see if Ray actually does a flying lap on this one. Ray's been cooking that corner a little bit off, and I don't know if he enjoys the line. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not doing it on purpose because he's doing it pretty consistently. I don't know if he's just trying to carry more speed down that small straight, but he's been coming in really wide around that corner. Truth is, though, with all the drifting going on in this area, the grip is kind of difficult to pick up. Josh Tangy drops a 104, and Ray drops a 106, so they're both picking up speed here. Great shot from our drone pilot out there. I hear he's got spiders crawling on him, so he's kind of, trying to fly the drone and not have a heart attack right now. But it does look like Ray has cleaned up the infield a little bit. Again, we're going to preach it. It's a 1.3 mile course, but there's so many places that you can lose and pick up speed on this infield. You want to make sure you carry as much speed as you can through the bank. It just comes down to how much bravery you have on the right pedal and how much confidence you have in the setup. We obviously don't want any driver putting it into anything, but we have seen these drivers over the weekend really gain confidence through the banking. Much tighter line there with Ray Guerrero going into the infield. Same thing through this right-hander. It seems Ray's really starting to tighten it up. He's getting comfortable with the track, comfortable with the car. 104.950 out of Ray Guerrero. There we go. These drivers are coming up near the end of their session. They got about 2 minutes left to lay down one more fast lap. It does look like we have TA5 lining up, ready to go out. That's the juxtaposition of Mustangs right there, guys. We're talking about a flat plane crank V8 Voodoo engine in that GT500 and an enthusiast class EcoBoost 2.3 liter 4-cylinder. Both these drivers obviously love their vehicles. We have Paul O in the GT500. This man is a commercial pilot, my friends. He says what motivates him? Adrenaline and fast cars. But he's been doing time trials for quite some time. This is his first season full racing, though. Never done a GTA event. His first race was actually a time trial at Road America. That's a heck of a place to take a car like a GT500 for the first time. But then you get into Elijah Sahlberg in this EcoBoost Mustang. Had a nice long talk with him, and he's not the first person to say this to us. He says he just absolutely loves the balance of this vehicle. He got out of an E46 M3, and anyone who's ever driven an E46 M3 will tell you they're very well balanced. They feel good, 300-something horsepower cars. When he got out of that car, he wanted to get into something with similar power and balance, just something newer, and he said this EcoBoost really nailed every single thing he was looking for. With that small 4-cylinder in there, the weight distribution on the car is great. He says the brakes feel good. Everything about the car feels amazing. Now, obviously, he's not making the ponies the GT500 is, but he's also not competing against it in class. Behind him is going to be Craig Lumpson. Craig Lumpson from Colorado Motorsports. That's a father-son team. You're going to see another Lancer Rallyard out in the next run group. These two have been chasing each other to the point where Craig actually got bumped up a run group because he's been really finding the time. Looks like these cars are cooling down, and we got a minute or two until we go hot for the next run group. Let's see who Jason found down there.
All right, welcome back. I'm happy to be standing here with Mr. Anthony Pearson. You were able to get the car out on track today. Should you give the fans out there an update on how your weekend's been going so far?
Yeah, it's been a brutal weekend. We're running into some new issues with just the added boost at elevation. So the car's had a ton of blow-by. We've been trying to fight that and get it contained. Obviously, we don't want to be out on track dropping oil or anything like that. So it's just been nonstop hammering and working on the car over the weekend and just trying to get one lap down. Came here trying to do 1 minute, sub 1 minute, or 1 minute flat. I don't know how much closer you can get. I think we're .010 or something like that. So we got one more session. We'll get it handled and see what we can throw down.
Awesome. Yeah, you can't get much closer. So you're right on the cusp. Good luck. Hopefully you're going to get out there and you'll get into the 59s or maybe even the 58s. Good luck, Anthony. Have a good one.
Anthony Pearson really laying it down. We saw him competing at Road Atlanta earlier in the season here at Global Time Attack, and he's the kind of driver that will absolutely hang it all out there. When he says he's been dealing with gremlins, he's not making excuses because he's still going full send. That just means he's pushing as hard as he can with what he has. And honestly, I believe the first time I saw him drive was in that car at Road Atlanta, and he really showed what he had. So for him, this is why I'm saying that street class is so tight at this event. He can absolutely get in the 59s and 58s. We already have Isaac Torres at a 59.4. We got Rigo Grajeda at a 59.5. He's got a lot of room to improve, and he's going to need to be able to keep up with these other guys. And to say that, you're half a second off, usually, half a second, that means you're in the position underneath. But when people are tenths away from each other, you are so close. With Paul O out there at the front of the grid, it looks like Jason had a chance to talk to him right before he went out. Let's see what Paul O had to say before his first run on track.
I'm here with Paul O. He's got a Shelby GT 500. And you're in which class are you competing in this weekend?
I'm competing in limited this weekend.
Awesome. Now, I know you had some troubles yesterday. Why don't you update the fans on the interesting weekend that you've had?
Yeah, so after the first round, I was running up to get a quart of oil, and I had apparently shredded the inside of both my tires, and they blew halfway down the highway. So I spent the whole day trying to get new tires put on, so we're back here today and going to give it another go, see what happens.
Thank goodness it didn't happen on the track here on the Roval.
Yeah, this GT 500 has the carbon fiber track pack, which means carbon fiber wheels, which means a blowout at 120 miles an hour is not going to be a pretty picture.
No. Glad that was not the case this weekend.
Me too. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, so have you ran this course before? Have you been here?
I have not. This is my first time here. It's my second time on a track ever. So I'm pretty new to the racing scene. Awesome. Just getting into it and seeing what it's all about.
Awesome. How did you find out about Global Time Attack and this Ascend event here at PPIR?
I actually found out about it through the NATA. I saw it on their list of the 6 races, and I did the Road America with the SCCA a couple months ago, and I had the time off this weekend, and I said, let's go for it.
Awesome. We all appreciate that. SCCA, Grid Life, and of course Global Time Attack work together on NATA, and appreciate you taking part in it. Of course. Pretty awesome. Where can people, if they want to follow, your budgeting racing time attack career, do you have an Instagram or a YouTube or anything like that?
I do have an Instagram. It's not very up to date yet. But we'll get it there. I believe it's just my first name and last name if you want to search me.
That's at Paul O on Instagram. Thank you. Good luck out there.
That's going to be Paul O, O-U-G-H, guys. O-U-G-H, pronounced the letter O. Now, for those of you, you heard something say called NATA. For those of you wondering, NATA is the North American Time Attack Council. That's going to be the Sports Club, SCCA, Global Time Attack, and Grid Life. We're all part of that. It allows you to see what championship series are running, where you can go out to do time trials and time attack, and it's really cool to see new drivers like Paul come out through NATA to find organizations such as Global Time Attack, Grid Life, etc. It's great to see him out here. He's definitely been pushing it, and like he said, he's got the full carbon package on this GT500. A blowout with a carbon wheel at 120 on the Roval probably would have been an expensive problem. So good thing it happened on the highway. It is rather sad that he had to spend half of the day looking for tires, but he's out here now. Definitely trying to push it as hard as he can. He is starting his first hot lap. Looks like Elijah Salberg took some time out of Paul O just on that lap. He did with a 107.249. Elijah's really got that car dialed in for the first set of laps. Paul has been working his way up on pace. Behind them is Craig Lumsden at a 108.741. Brody Matthews is also out on track in his Mini Cooper. The story on this Mini Cooper is awesome. The 110.149. He picked it off Facebook Marketplace for $2,500 and decided to build a track car. I believe this is his first track car build. He's been in motorsports for quite some time, off-road racing and things like that. So he just found a chassis on Marketplace that wasn't expensive. Figured, hey, I'll give this thing a shot, and then here he is, carrying good speed into the infield too. Good thing about the Mini Cooper chassis, it's very balanced. It may not be known as the fastest car out there, but you can make some jam with them, and you can really get some car control under your belt and learn how to push a quote-unquote lower power car around. Paul O out there with a 104.833, got some heat in those tires, a little confidence in his life, and he's out there pushing it to the limit now. Great, start finish. This is Brody Matthews. This is who I'm talking about. This cool little Mini Coupe, found a chassis for $2,500. It's a really cool little build. Red on one side, black on the other. I'm a really big fan of dual liveries. Car that looks different side to side. Yesterday he was running yellow or green wheels on this side. Now he's running black. But it's just this car pops on track. He's really been picking up the pace every single lap he's been out there. It's been fun to watch, but more than anything, it's awesome to see someone really throw one of these cars around. Usually you see these cars in wheel-to-wheel scenarios. Very minimal time trial driving on these cars, though some regions have more than others. It's just not a car you see so much anymore, so seeing one out here at an event like this is great. It does look like Paul O., Elijah Salberg, and Craig Lumsden went faster on that lap, and Brody Matthews. The track's really coming into itself. All these drivers are really picking up speed. Here's Craig Lumsden in his rally art. Him and his father, they have basically identical cars. Liveries are very similar. It's kind of hard to tell them apart unless you know the numbers or know that Zach's car is actually black on the back. But 6'10", Craig Lumsden, him and his dad have really been figuring out this course. They're local here in Colorado. You can follow them at Colorado Motorsport. There's no S on the end of that, Colorado Motorsport. And they're actually setting up for the Baja. They did not make Pikes Peak this year. They are a Pikes Peak team. They do drive these cars up Pikes Peak, but they were setting up for the Baja, so they missed it this year, but they did not miss the Ascend Music and Motorsport Festival. Looks like everyone was on a cool down that lap except for Paul O., who did a 103.711. Looks like Paulo got his fill for this session. He went faster every lap. He did 4 laps, and each lap he picked up time, with that last one being a 103.7. These drivers have about 2 minutes left to lay down a fast lap if they're looking for it. That's the pro and con of these 10-minute sessions. The pro is a lot of these cars can do 2 or 3 hot laps, which allows them to do 1 or 2, cool it down, and then 1 or 2 more. So they can get it all done and then come in and be done. But if you need to come in and have your team check something out or really adjust pressures or shock settings, you're on a time crunch with these 10-minute sessions. There's Elijah Sahlberg. Haven't seen much of him this session, but he has quietly been the second fastest guy around with a 107, 104. With how balanced this car is, he says he's really able to lay down some laps. That was a 107, 612. So he's found his consistency. Let's see if he can get into the 105s. Craig's really driving that. Elijah is really driving that high line. You'll notice he was just staying in it up high. He was actually kicking up dirt. Most people are getting on the low line there, but it looks like he was doing it to allow Craig to get past him. He finished his hot lap and he saw Craig was on one, so he wanted to make sure he was nowhere in that man's way. It's a great part about these time attack drivers. They have great sense of what's going on around them. They are not just going to block someone. For people who have spent a lot of time in HPDE driving, you know it's probably one of your biggest pet peeves. You're coming up on a flyer and someone's going really slow and is just kind of stick in the middle of the track or isn't really telegraphing where they're going. And rule number one is it's always up to the passing driver to be safe on the pass. So if the car in front of you isn't being consistent, you're not going to pass. Where here, if these drivers are on a cooldown, they're spending more time in the rearview mirror than they are looking forward. Paul O with a 103, 711 leading this session. Elijah Sahlberg a 107, 104. Craig Lumpson right behind him with a 107, 151. And then Brody Matthews at a 108, 056. Looks like these drivers are getting back in while these cars get gridded up to go out. Let's see who Jason caught down there coming out of their car.
GTA Group 6. GTA Group 6, you're hot in 1 minute, 9:15. You go hot. GTA Group 6, 9:15.
Here with Mike Pastor, I want to get an update on how the first session went out there for you today.
It went pretty well. I did set another new personal best, so that's progress. Not as much progress as I want, but we're getting there, slowly but surely.
All right, success so far. That sounds good. How's the car holding up?
It's holding up just fine. I had a few little hiccups yesterday, but they all seem to kind of magically go away after that first session, so we're just going to keep going. We're going to keep pushing.
Awesome. Good luck out there today. We'll all be cheering you on. And hopefully you'll even push it even further, and your personal best will be,
Hope for the 101. 101, that's the goal. I just want to get into the 101s.
Awesome. All right. We'll be watching. Thanks, Mike.
Awesome, thank you.
That's Michael Pastore running into the common German car curse where it had some random issues and they just went away. Hopefully they stay away for the rest of this event, but it's great to see him continuously going faster. This is going to be TA5 going live, or TA6, I apologize, going live. This is the last run group of this session. We'll have one more session after this, and that's going to be the day for him. Going out first is going to be Justin Miller in his ER Subaru engine, Subaru Impreza WRX. Following him out is going to be Matt Pope in his Matt's Garage Toyota MR2. Helena Sandgaard in her Ford Focus ST. And then Zachary Lumpson in his Colorado Motorsport Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Art. While these drivers are starting their hot laps, if you guys are wondering where to get timing and scoring, it's going to be from racehero.io or the Race Hero app on your Google or Android device. It's going to give you live timing and scoring, previous lap times, grids, basically tell you anything and everything you need to know about when and where these drivers are going. If you are not here at the event, we got Matt Pope starting his first hot lap. For those of you wondering, this MR2 no longer has a 3S GTE. It's actually a 2GR. That is a Toyota V6 that revs out to 8,000 RPM. This is a minivan motor, guys, but it's become quite a popular swap for the MR2 chassis. It makes great power, great torque. It revs much smoother and higher than the 3S GTE, and it's just a lot easier on the driver and parts. Anyone who's ever built a 3S knows those motors are amazing. Oh! He's got it, guys. Good recovery. This 2GR, though, has become a very popular platform. We actually have a driver in the Pacific Northwest that runs one of these at the Ridge Motorsport Park, so that's always great. Behind Matt Pope, I believe, is Helena Sandgaard. Anyone who was watching yesterday, Helena was chopping seconds off of her laps at the very end of the day. She gained some confidence, maybe some traded information with her husband, who is running the McLaren 720S. Let's see if she can pull some times out. She's at a 1:14. She got down to a 1:13 yesterday. So she's already starting at a much higher pace than she did yesterday. Even with that shimmy, Matt Pope is leading the session at a 1:10, which means he had some good pace in that car because he had a nice tank slapper on the infield. Lena looking nice and tidy through the infield there. This is what we were talking about when we said enthusiast class is the epitome of an HPDE car or a street car coming to the track. She's doing a killer job out here. She actually signed up on Thursday, the day of practice at the event. She decided, hey, I've been autocrossing this car. I'm going to go out there with my husband and do the best I can. While she was doing that lap, though, we had Matt Pope lay down a 108.093 and Zach Lumsden with a 108.982. Let's see if we can catch that Lancer rally art. Zach Lumsden with a 109.302. This is Craig's father, so he's definitely been chasing his son. When they were in the early sessions yesterday and they were back-to-back, they were just with each other, and Craig was able to pull out away from him. Matt Pope with a 106.828. A lot of Evo fans out there, guys. You don't see much Lancer Rally Art fame or anyone really talking about these cars, but it's still a great platform, and the Lumpsons are proving it. These guys racing it up Pikes Peak, coming to these events, they've really shown that, you know, you can just pick a chassis you like and run with it. I don't know the story on why they have two Rally Arts. I don't know if it was a deal. I don't know if they chose these cars, but like any true competitors, they took the chassis they had and they took them to the moon. A 110.132, just off his 108.982. Matt Pope, on the other hand, after that tank slapper, seems to have really found some pace in that car, because with the 106.828, it's a great pickup. Elena is down to the 111s, guys, 111.445. She is just chopping time off every session she goes out. We may have to put a new driver into the Subaru as soon as it's fixed, okay? Better watch out, Joaquin. She's coming for your seat. It does look like Justin Miller is starting a hot lap. He went out for his warm-up but had some small issue and came in immediately. We did not get a lap out of him. So let's see if he can lay down a flyer in this session. He's got a good minute and a half to go around, possibly even set another one. Got about 10 seconds over a minute left on this, guys. Oh, whatever issues Justin Miller is running into, they seem to be plaguing him this weekend. He'll be able to lay a lap down, and then the car will just limp out and die. Hopefully, whatever it is, he gets that taken care of. He does have one more chance on track to go fast. With the interview with him yesterday, he did say he's been using this event as a learning experience. His shop has other cars here at the car show and at the drift. We did see one of the Subarus from his shop drifting nonstop last night, so they can definitely build things that can get beat up. Let's just make sure whatever's going on with Justin is something he can take care of simply. Hopefully we see him have a clean session in his next and last final run. While they're figuring out Justin and while these cars for TA1 are starting to line up, let's go ahead and shoot it down to Jason, see who he's caught out there, and hopefully we get these P1 cars going out ready to set their fastest laps.
Joaquim, you just came out from being in your first session of today. How'd it go for you out there?
Not as good as I'd hoped. A little bit squirrely out there. Definitely got the McLaren sideways, which probably made for some fun shots, but it wasn't fast. So we're hoping that we can do a little bit better in the second session of today or the last session of today and see where we end up.
Awesome. We're all cheering on for you. The fans at home want to know where they can follow along your racing. Cool car, but this isn't even the actual time attack car. Where can they find you?
Sandguard the Viking on Instagram is really the only place where I post updates, so that would be a good spot.
I like the handle. Pretty good. One more time.
Sandguard the Viking.
Awesome. Good luck today. We'll see you guys later. Ray, I saw you out on track this morning. First session of the day. How'd it go for you?
Felt a little bit loose out there. It's a little bit of different discipline for me, so I'm trying to get comfortable with the track. There's a lot of time out there available, but it definitely is about being comfortable with the track.
Right on. Yes, I think when we spoke last, you were talking about that this type of configuration with a Roval like this was your first time, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So. Right.
And you didn't get any practice here before, just coming to the Ascend event, boom, that was it.
Yes.
Awesome. So based off of what you had on practice and yesterday, going into the last official time attack session coming up here in a little while, what's the goal?
I feel like I can drop a couple seconds if I put a couple things together.
Awesome. We'll be cheering you on, Ray. Good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right.
That's Ray Guerrero there going ready to go out and try and drop a second or two. This is TA1 lining up, my friends. TA1 lining up. It does look like Ferris wants to be at the back of the grid. He may want to do a warm-up or a double warm-up before his flyer, so he doesn't want to hold anybody up. Dominic Tapia leading him out. Ben Dankers right behind, and then Cable Rosenberg. Now, Dominic and Cable, very similar in lap time. We aren't going to re-rack these cars, though. They are going to stay racked as they were, but Cable is going to give himself plenty of space. Cable picked up 2.5 or 2.7 seconds with that traction control fix, so let's see if he's got a little bit more confidence in the bank in the infield, and we may actually see him get down in the 55s or 54s. Dominic thinks he's got a 55 in him. Ben believes that he's in a 57, no problem. Now, obviously, you put it together on paper, you're at that lap time, but these drivers got to go out here and do everything in their power to make sure they don't make small mistakes that are going to hurt those lap times. Let's go ahead and see where the standings are after that first set of time attack runs. Enthusiast class, Ernie Ramirez still leading a 103, but Elijah Salberg at a 107.1 from that last session, and Helena down to a 110.884. That's a long way away from her 115s of yesterday. Street class has gotten even tighter, guys. 59.427 from Isaac Torres, but Rigo Grajeda went from third to second with a 59.540, and Anthony Pearson at a 1 minute .010. Got Chris Matthews just behind them at a 101.451. Limited class is still being led by Ben Dankers, but Tim Schopner is right on his tail. And Joaquin Sangard, who we just saw JD interview not too long ago, is at a 59.816. He was getting a little slippery out there, but he's got to beware because all Michael Sims has to do is pull half a second, and he is now third place. Michael Pistori trying to get into the 101s. He's at a 102.213. Unlimited class, we didn't see position changes per se, but we did see a position change. Actually, Dominic Tapia took second. Cable right on his tail, but we saw Dominic and Cable both get in the 56s immediately in session one. Cable with a 54.180. He's chasing that 53.097 for that $10,000 payout. Chris Shellhart at a 103.461. Ray Guerrero really wants to gain a second or two to be able to take that first place in GTX class. All right, let's see if Dominic can really pull this one out. You heard him in the interview say he actually swapped over to a tire compound that doesn't fall away from him so quickly. So he, from what I ascertained from that, he went with a compound that has a little less grip that allows him to really lean on it lap to lap so he can pull some things out. So that's Dominic starting his first lap. He said the one thing he has to work on is, less lift in the bank. So if he's able to figure that out, he thinks a 55 is absolutely in his future. We have Ben Danker starting his first hot lap. That was Cable warming up the tires that you saw in the infield there. This is where Ben had the brakes lock up. It seemed to be a little bit of an issue with setup. He is still running ABS, but he's running a a brake bias made by a company in Europe that still runs off the factory booster. So a little bit of setup stuff here and there, but it's nice to see that he's able to break it down. Dominic Tapia, first lap, 56.9. That's really great for him because he was in the 56s on lap 3 or 4 last time. Ben at a 58.115, just a little slower than his fastest lap so far, but let's see if he can nail a second lap here. Cable is finishing up his lap. He's also trying to get in the 55s, but more than anything, he's trying to get ahead of Dominic Tapia. Cable with a 58.104. Looks like Ben had a little lockup, took it in deep into that slow corner into the infield. He'll probably bring it in, have the car checked out, make sure nothing's out of whack, and go back out. Ferris with a 110.272 on his first lap. Looks like he was warming it up. Dominic a 57.5 on his second. So I'm not sure if that was a mistake or him just figuring a few things out. Let's see what he goes for his third. Cable taking it through the infield. This is where the car was just unmanageable yesterday. Cable with a 56.975. Now let's see if we can get that in the 55s. Meanwhile, Ferris is on a tear right now. Ferris with a 54.953. Little about 8/10 slower than his fastest lap from yesterday. It was a 54.1, but the pace is there. Looks like Ben Dankers was checked out and sent back out. Hopefully whatever issues he was having, he was able to resolve. Let's see if we can get that car in the 57s. Ferris seems to be on a cool down here. Cable looking really clean, very compliant in this car through the infield. This will be Cable finishing his fourth lap. Meanwhile, Ben has really gotten the car together, it looks like. He figured out the braking zone there. Ben's got to push for that 57. He knows that this is his last chance on track, and he has Tim Schopner very close to being able to pull it away from him. Ben Dankers, 57.509. There it is, boys. Ben knew he was in the 57s. He had to come in. There he is again. I feel like he's really fighting some brake issues, but whatever he's fighting, that 57 came out of the car, and that's all that matters. Woo, it looks like it's not just Ben, guys. The grip just may not be there in that portion of the track. Cable's locking up there. Ben's locking up there. We saw Ferris take it deep right there. It doesn't matter, though, guys. Locking it up after the hot lap is irrelevant because Ben at a 57.509, he's really going to make Tim work for it if he wants that payout. Cable starting another hot lap. Both him and Ben Dankers both had little offs there going into the infield. I'm not sure if there's less grip or both of them are just carrying immense amounts of speed going in there more than they were yesterday, which is absolutely possible. Ferris Khartoumi will end this session in first place in Unlimited class unless somebody pulls a rabbit out of the hat in this final minute. Looks like Jason found Rigo Grajeda there in the hot pits, who got into the 59s like he wanted, but he's still a 10th off of Isaac Torres. What's Rigo feeling down there, Jason?
Rigo, we were watching you out on track earlier in that first session of today's competition. How'd it go for you?
It went amazing, actually. I hit my sub 1 minute. That was the goal for this weekend. I was constantly one flats, hit a 59.54, and that's good enough to put me in second place in street class. I'm trying to go for more.
Awesome. That's great, man. Congratulations for that. All right. Well, good luck. We'll be checking in with you a little bit later today. Good luck. Thank you.
Rigo excited to get his sub 1 minute. I'm not sure if he understood how close he was to first place, but maybe that man's just a smooth criminal because he just has to keep his mind on the game, because if Isaac does not go faster in his next session, that means all Rigo has to do is pull a 10th out.
GTA Group 2, 3 minutes, 3-minute call, GTA Group 2. Last session of the GTA competition this weekend. Group 3, 4, 5, and 6 is out there.
Hi there, I'm standing here next to Brody Matthews' car. He just came in off the track for his first session of the day. I'm going to see if I could get in here and maybe get a quick update from him on what's going on. Oh, he's talking to his kids right now. Let's give him a second here. What's up, Brody? Want to get a quick update from you. Saw you out on track right now. Looked really good. How'd it go?
Pretty good. All the other races we had throughout the series, we only had third and fourth gear. I was able to, use some MacGyvering and get my fifth gear working. So that increased my top speed and gave me my personal best so far. So
awesome. What time is that?
It's a 1:08 flat. So I'm hoping I get in a 1:07 on the next series. I'm starting to learn that inside a lot better. So.
Yeah, it can get a little tricky out there. Awesome, man. Congratulations. Thanks. We'll be watching in the next one coming up. Everybody tune in, and good luck. Hopefully you get into the 106s or 107s. That'd be sweet.
Appreciate it, man. Right. Thanks.
Brody Matthews out there in his Mini Cooper doing a little MacGyver to get the fifth gear in the car. That's great. We do have TA2 lined up and ready to go out. TA1 is done for the event, guys. Those times for those fastest laps are set. Now, here's the drama. Tim Shepner, who said he has plenty left in the car, has to get into the 57s now to be able to catch up to Ben Dankers. We have Isaac Torres right behind him, who's only a 10th ahead of Rigo Grajeda. Then we have Mr. Joaquim Sangard. He is very close to taking second place, but we have another street class competitor right behind him, Anthony Pearson, who's at a 1:0.010. He's about half a second off of Isaac and Rigo. If he's able to put it together, not have any issues, he could be the person to really shake up this podium. This is Tim Shepner's chance to really put a stamp on it. He says if Ben can do a 57, I can do a 57. Truth be told, he never said that. I said that. But, Tim, we believe in you. Let's go ahead and shake up this podium. Tim's going to go ahead and do a little bit of warm-up here, and let's see what he does on his first flyer. Remember, guys, 1.3-mile course. He's got to get some heat in the tires. He's got to get confidence in himself and the rig. You don't have much time in these 10 minutes to try and lollygag around this track. So here's Tim setting up for his first hot lap. Tim carrying good speed, hitting his braking point here. This is both where Cable and Ben lost it. It feels like everyone's trying to push the limits in that section right there. Tim trying to carry as much speed as he can. Small little left kink, hard brake into a 180 right-hander. It's going to hook the inside there. Car did not look unsettled at all. A little bit of curb there, a lot of curb here. See how much curb he uses here. Let's see if he holds that nice tight inside line or if he goes wide. It looks like he's wide to a late apex here. And now he's going to try and put that power down. That was Tim Shepner's first hot lap. Wait for timing and soaring to catch up. It looked really clean, but it's hard to tell. You got to carry so much speed through the banking. You got to carry a lot through one. We're going to have Isaac Torres finishing a 59.950 out of Tim's first hot lap. Now we have Isaac Torres finishing his first hot lap at a 1:0.073. Let's see if we can catch up with Isaac there down the back straight going into the infield. We know Isaac does 2 or 3 hot laps back to back. We got Joaquim Sangard at a 59.861 first lap. Isaac went a little wide into the infield there. The one thing we don't know about these drivers is how many sets of tires they came with. I know quite a few brought a fresh set for today. If Isaac came with a fresh set of tires, this would be the best time to use them. Isaac with a 104.847. Looks like he lost a little bit of time there. But Tim Shepner was able to take back first in the session with a 59.129. Tim absolutely has the pace in the car. He's so close to a 58. It does look like Isaac is slowing down to allow Joaquim to get past him. That's good work there to make sure that someone has the space. Here's Joaquim Sangard, who for the first lap was leading this session. He is fighting Tim Shepner for position, so he's going to have to lay down a much faster lap now. Looks like Tim is still sending it, to be honest with you. He just did a 59.726, so he lost 0.6 on his last lap. I know he sees it on his own timing and scoring. Most of these drivers have their own lap timers in the car, and seeing a 59.129 is probably excruciating, knowing that your competitor's in the 58s and you're so close. Another 59 out of Tim, so he's obviously found the confidence in his car. He's got about 5 minutes. He could come in, check pressures, go over everything, and still go out and lay down another flyer. This is Tim's chance to get in the 58s. We need him to compete with Ben. Ben's got to have that sweat running down his brow. Joaquim is really, he was talking about how the car was loose out there. I was going to say Joaquim has really been able to keep that car under control, but before it even came out of my mouth, he forgot that this is the time attack competition, not the drift. It looks like Isaac Torres is getting back on track. They just re-released him from the hot pits. If Isaac is getting back out, he's going to go back out in anger. He knows that Rigo is so close to him, and him running a 1 minute flat this session is not going to cut it. While Isaac's starting his hot lap, Tim Shepner is coming in to talk to his team. He should have time to reset any pressures needed and go back out. This is Isaac's warm-up lap, so he came off of a hot track. He does not need to get any more heat into these tires. He needs to be nice and smooth with it, get this car around, no unneeded tire spin, no unneeded understeer to heat up those front tires. He just has to get to it, get a great slingshot onto the front straight, and lay down a fast lap. He's going to be in the middle of these, little touch on this curb here. Nothing that'll unsettle the car and make the rear tires spin. He will probably line up pretty wide out of this corner. Yep, he's starting on the outside, and he's going to use every bit of this momentum to slingshot him on the front straight. You saw Isaac go high, low, high. He was letting the speed of the car carry him back up. This is really important. He hits his brake marker here. Let's see if he doesn't carry it too wide. Nice tight line right there. That was the best infield turn we've seen from him. Now let's see him carry some speed here. Little move to the left, and now it's going to be a hard braking into a right-hand U-turn. Really clean through the infield there. Now it's all about how much curb can he take without unsettling the car. A lot of curb there. Now he needs to be careful here not to push too hard. There we go. And now he's going to use every bit of the power this car has to take him back down the front straight. He's looking for something faster than a 59.4, guys. Looking for a 59.3 or lower. It does look like Tim Shepner was sent back out on track. I don't see him in the hot pits. Let's see if my guys can catch him. There he is. He's starting his warm-up lap. He's finishing his warm-up lap, about to go slingshot onto the front straight. Tim has this lap. This lap is going to be his final lap. He cross start finish with 45 seconds left. He's got to hang it all out there. He's got to hit his brake markers. He's got to make sure he doesn't make any little boo-boos, like he said, because we need him to hit every single point on this track he's aiming for. Carry a lot of speed through that left kink, hard braking zone into the infield. Looks like he overcooked it just a little bit into the infield, but that hasn't seemed to be costing a lot of these drivers much time. Nice, clean, and tidy U-turn there through the infield. A little bit of curb here. Now, how clean can he take it through here? Nice, nice line. He's going to start out wide, try to clip the inside, clip that late apex, and carry as much speed as he can. It's like goosebumps just waiting for timing and scoring to catch up. Am I going to see a 58? $59,626, guys. He was not able to surpass his 59.129, but that 59.1 was an incredible lap. That's going to place him in second place in limited class. Ben Dankers with his mid-58s really holding on. He said the car had it. We believed him, but he just had to put it together. Oh, I'm sorry. Ben Dankers with his 57.5 is really holding it down. He said the car had it. He put it down. Really, really proud of him and his team. He's missing a crucial team member who actually got deployed. He's watching us from across the seas. Big shout out to you, man. I'm sure Ben did that for you. Really, he didn't. He did it for me, but honest to God, these guys are out here pushing hard, replacing clutches. Tim over here having to weld up a turbo manifold. We have drivers dealing with blow-by issues, drivers dealing with elevation. These guys are doing everything in their power to try and go as fast as they can with what they have. While these guys are finishing their cooldown laps and we're getting gridded up for Group 3, I believe Jason is with our overall time leader, Mr. Ferris Khartoumi. Jason, how's Ferris doing down there?
I'll do the countdown. Oh, it's happening. Standing here with Ferris Khartoumi, I want to say congratulations on the first place unlimited class here. I know it's not quite exactly the time that you were shooting for, but it's still first place and you came out on top.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just great to win or great to be here, really. But, yeah, unfortunately, we weren't able to beat it. But, I mean, for this car's real, like, true first, like, competition. I mean, we ran in Atlanta, but there was, like, issues. I only ran, like, 2 laps. But I think overall, like, for this car to run the event and still put it on the trailer at the end, I think is a win in itself.
I agree. And you know what, that brings up a good point that, you know, maybe explain to some of the fans out there that don't realize that this is not the same car that they maybe saw you compete at a GTA or a Grid Life or something like that even 2 years ago, correct? Where's that car at? And maybe a little explanation there.
Yeah, so that car is currently now in Australia. This car I built, I think, in the past, like, 8 months. Yeah. So to build a car in 8 months, get it to the level that it's at, and being very, very close to what my other car took me 6 years to develop, I think is, you know, win in itself. But, yeah, it's like these high-strung time attack cars aren't really known for being reliable. So to have a reliable car to make it throughout the weekend, do session after session, like, this is wins for us. Like, these little victories, like, mean nothing to, like, guys who do endurance races and, you know, all the time, like, are on track. But for time attack cars to run like this all the time, like, that's just a win. So
I agree, and they know it if they've been watching, because everybody that we've talked to, 9 out of 10 drivers are having problems that they had to fix this weekend, whether if it's broken parts, they had to go get lucky and have someone help them out and find something. Of course, the time attack community is pretty strong. They help each other out. You're also someone that does the same thing too. I see you help people out as well, give them pointers. I saw you doing that with a few of the drivers. I think is really cool and very nice of you.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I can help, I definitely will, and I know this track really, really well. So if anyone has any, questions about getting around the track or driving line or whatever, I'm always here to help.
Awesome. Fastest man at PPIR all time and fastest this weekend. Congratulations on the first place win, unlimited class. We'll see you in the night battle. And he'll have another chance to win something tonight, $5,000 tonight on the line, top 12 overall, going head-to-head battle basically. So looking forward to that, dude. Good luck.
Awesome, thanks.
That's a great breakdown there from Ferris and JD, and like we've talked about over the weekend, I'm glad he could talk about it. This is not the same car, guys. When he shipped that car to Australia last year to go to World Time Attack, he knew that he was going to have to build another chassis. And you know what? He went above and beyond with that. He built an incredible car over 8 months. He showed it off at COTA. He did his first competition with it at Road Atlanta, but he was having fueling issues. He only did 2 laps the whole event. It is very heartbreaking to see that happen, make the trek all the way to Atlanta. But at the end of the day, he got it done. And now he's here, complete event, made every lap. He had a small issue yesterday that we saw on track. He was able to fix it immediately. These are huge victories. And overall, and to win the overall event is also huge for him. Obviously, like anyone chasing time, anyone who's competing in these events, it's always going to be heartbreaking to not take that record and get that payout for that. But that just means he has next year. But currently, we got Rigo Grajeda out on track. This is his chance, guys. Isaac Torres was not able to go faster. Can Rigo go faster than a 59.450? We're going to find out right now. This is going to show us if the track still has it in it. Obviously, we're now in the complete second session. We've had 7-8 run groups out here. The weather is up to 77 degrees, and it's just straight sunlight. We got no cloud cover. We have no overcast. This is drivers versus themselves in the track. Really, really clean line through the infield there. No tire spin whatsoever. No opposite lock, no correction. Now, what can he do to... got a little bit right there. Now, let's see if he can put the power down onto the front straight. $59.979 on his first lap. Rigo's coming out stronger than Isaac did. This is going to have to be Isaac watching this session, hoping his time stands. Michael Sims with a 102.055 behind him. We have Chris Matthews and Michael Pastore out on this session also. This right here is the man battling for first place in street class. This is who we want to see. This is going to be probably his best chance to beat that record, to beat that time. Got a little bit of tire spin there. Everyone in this session running nice. 59, 101, 102, 103. These drivers are laying these lap times down. 59.369. Rigo Grajeda takes first place. His last chance on track, and he takes it away from Isaac Torres, guys. Rigo Grajeda, 59.369. And he still has a little bit more of a session left to put a stamp on it. But if he's got any timing and scoring in his car, if he's got a lap timer, he's got to be incredibly excited. His goal was sub 1 minute the whole event. He got it last session, and whatever he pulled out of it, man, listen. Isaac has been dominant in that Supra this whole event. He's been fast. He's been showing confidence. Rigo's been working his way up, and to see Rigo pull a 59.369 out on the final session to take it away from Isaac Torres, that's huge. Big shout to Rigo and your team in that number 7 Toyota GR Supra. We got Michael Pastore out here with a 103.118 as his fastest lap time. Here we have Chris Matthews, guys, with a 101.608, car number 79, Subaru STI. He's been out here. He had a small issue yesterday, had to get towed off track. I didn't have a chance to find out what it was, but whatever it was, it hasn't slowed him down. He's been coming out every single session since then and laying down faster lap times. Looks like he is going to be trying to finish this lap off. He's staying low, so my guess he's not going to do another hot lap after this one. A 102.290, but in front of him, Michael Sims laid down a 101.324. These drivers are all picking up speed. It's going great for these guys. Now we have in the session a 59.369, a 101.324, a 101.608, and a 103.118. Right there, we got Michael Sims completely missed the corner. We didn't catch it on camera, but he was trying to catch that braking zone and was just carrying far too much speed. So luckily we are in a roval orientation. He can just throw that lap away. Obviously, you see a 38.927 on timing and scoring. That will be deleted, and he will be able to go out for another hot lap. Listen, I know we have a $10,000 bounty on the lap record, but I don't think you can win the $10,000 by avoiding the infield. All right, we're going to throw it to JD in the pits right now while these drivers are cooling down. Michael Sims going to have to come in. Let's go ahead and see who you got down there, JD.
Dominic, congratulations on the second place finish in Unlimited class here this weekend, man. Way to go. 56.1, I think, is what the time was.
Yeah, it absolutely was. It worked out really well for us. We changed up our tire strategy, like I was saying last time, and it played out well. I didn't pick up any time in the second session, but the same set of tires lasted longer than what our other set was doing, so I'm happy with the results.
Awesome, man. It was awesome to see out there. I was sitting out there with a couple of fans, and they were like, man, that car is just flying. You know, they could tell you were really sending it in that last session. Like you said, even though you didn't better the time from the prior session, but I mean, it looks good out there. I really love seeing this car. I like the livery.
Yeah, that's great to hear. I come out and not only do it for myself to improve myself, but getting feedback like that is what makes it all worth it. Getting the fans involved and everybody getting excited and cheering you on is what really makes it worth it.
Awesome. Again, congratulations. We all look forward to seeing you in a few hours at the Ascend Night Battle, new format that we're going to run. $5,000 on the line. You're sitting in P2 basically in the overall one, and we're gonna go talk to Cable next. He was right behind you with the 51. I'm sorry, help me out.
56.3.
56.3. You're 56.1. Very tight. Awesome. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, it looks like Michael Sims came in, got checked out. His fastest lap is still a 101.324. Just had to update timing and scoring. He has to go across start finish before it updates. Now let's see if he can surpass that 101, get back into the 1 minute or 59-second laps. Looks like Mr. Sims over here is really pushing his GT3 RS. We have seen him at quite a few events now. He was at Road Atlanta. This is a man who's just going out here and having a good time. He's decided that this kind of track driving is really suited him. And a lot of people will show up to an event and not be sure. He showed up to his first event and hasn't missed one since. And that's the kind of love and passion we have for this sport. So anytime a driver does the same, we love to support them. We love that they support us. We really do this for the drivers and the fans, and anytime we see a driver with some serious passion like that, it just makes our day. That was a 104.021 out of Michael Sims.
I am standing here next to Cable Rosenberg's Dodge Viper twin turbo. Ran a 56.3 today. Good enough for third place in unlimited class this weekend at the Ascend Motorsports Festival. Global Time Attack competition. Can't find Cable at the moment right now, but just wanted to come and appreciate this thing. Sounded awesome out there. Looked awesome out there. Today he really pushed it. His times improved over yesterday. I know he was having some traction problems yesterday. He was able to work that out somewhat. And good enough for a 56.3, which put him in third place in unlimited class. So congratulations to Cable. Check out his Viper.
That is the end of Group 3, guys, Session 6. That was their final time on track. We're going to have Group 4 gridding up, ready to go out. We've had some real big excitement here, guys. Yesterday was fun. We saw some fast lap times, but watching people surpass, watching Dominic Tapia just inch out Cable for second, and watching Rigo Grajeda take out Isaac Torres for first. This has been one heck of a day here. It's a short day for these time attack guys. It's only 2 sessions. It was give it all or get nothing out of it. So it's really exciting to see. We do have cars starting to line up for Group 4, Session 6. while these cars are lining up and getting ready to go out, I think we got Ben Dankers, who actually pulled a 57 out on his final session. He's doesn't always show the most excitement, so let's see what the look on his face is.
Ben, congratulations. First place limited class.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Way to go.
Thanks.
How'd it feel out there?
For sure. Oh, great. You know, it's like every time I start to feel comfortable, it's like the event is over. It's like I want another day, you know, to keep trying to bring the time down. But this event's awesome. Global's awesome. PPIR is awesome. Great to be here. It's been a lot of fun.
I agree. Thank you. PPIR is definitely awesome. And, of course, I love GTA. And I love all you guys. You know, it takes all of us to make a cool event like this happen. And, you know, we really appreciate you coming out here and laying it down and putting on a good show. And, I mean, what was it, 57.5 was the lap time that you got? I mean, that's very fast.
Yeah, and, you know, consistent dropping. So, you know, hopefully next year we'll come out and be even faster and we'll continue to progress. But grateful for the team. Literally couldn't be here without Steve, the guys at UMS. You know, from the point that we had the clutch failure this weekend to getting everything back and sorted to running a 57.5, right? So
you had the full experience.
yeah, next time let's lose or not have some of those experiences and just have the positive. But it is what it is. That's part of the game. Love it. You know, it's great to be here.
Awesome. Congratulations once again to you and the team. And we'll see you in the night battle. Thanks. Well, first we'll see you at the awards, then we'll see you at the night battle later on. All right, thank you.
Ben, always such a humble guy, man. Always giving credit where credit's due. We have nothing but love for him for that. Him giving love to Steve. Steve put in crazy work to get that car together. UMS Tuning, who put his and Cable's car together. UMS Tuning tuned Tim Shepner's Evo. This is a small community, guys, and we do everything we can to help each other. And it's just great to see everyone succeed. Tim laying down fast laps. Now we have Group 4, Session 6 out on track. This is Ernie Ramirez right here, starting his first flyer. He just finished his hot lap. Ernie Ramirez is in enthusiast class. Behind him, we have Josh Tangy. It looks like Ernie laid down a 104.138. Ray Guerrero with a 102.477. Ray said he had a couple seconds to pick up in this car, and he just took first place in GTX class on his first lap. Josh Tangy at a 105.554 in that Audi TTRS. Ray at a 101.711. Ray specifically said he's got to put a couple things together to drop 1 or 2 seconds, and he pulls 3 seconds out. This is Ray Guerrero right here. He knows it's his last laps. He knows it's his last chance on track. Now it's just time to hang it all down there. Now, this braking point has been really rough for a lot of our competitors. It seems Ray's got it down pretty well. Maybe carried a little bit too much speed in there, but was able to get the car rotated. Looks like we have Ernie Ramirez getting out of the way for him. Ray back down to a 102.0, but he did exactly what he said he was going to do. He said he was going to put a few things together, come out, and then just lay down a flyer. Down to a 101.7. Ray Guerrero in that GTX class, GT2 Club Sport. Ray Guerrero still a hot lap in the car. While these guys, we got a couple cooldowns. We have people coming into the pits. It looks like Jason did catch up with Rigo Grajeda after he took first place from Isaac Torres. Let's see the excitement coming from that man.
Rigo, congratulations, man. First place street class.
Yes, thank you. It's crazy. I've been to like 3 or 2 GTAs, and it's crazy to even think that I'm placing first right now. It's crazy. Awesome.
And you left us all in suspense because you did it at the very last session, I believe, at the end of the day. How amazing.
Yeah, it was at the end of the session. I knew I had to like put all the corners together. I was messing up turn 2 and a couple of turns. I was trying to piece it all together. It just had to be the one, and I put it all together this final lap.
And you edged out your guy right here just by a little bit at the last second, man. How's that feel?
It feels like it was a good battle. That's what it was. That's like we're going at it all weekend, and I knew he was a lot faster. I had to push myself to make more power, and even on the turns do quicker. It's crazy, and it's just a good battle.
Awesome, man. It was awesome to watch. I'm sure everybody at home liked watching it. Thank you for putting on such a great show. Congratulations for first place in street class. And we got the awards at 11:30, so that'll be a good time. We'll see you up there. And then be ready for the night battle tonight, because you'll be in I believe you'll be in the top 12 group, it looks like right now. So that's pretty awesome, man. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's JD with Rigo Grajeda. Man, you could see he's excited, but he just doesn't even know what to say. It's exactly what he said. It's not about that he beat Isaac and that's the end-all be-all. It was a great battle between the two. Isaac laid down a flyer. He laid down a flyer. Isaac got him by a 10th, and he had one chance to get back out there and go fast. And like he said, he just had to put the corners together, and he was able to do it. It's great. Now, luckily for these drivers, there is still one more chance at a big payout. I believe Jason said 5, but it's a $10,000 payout to whoever wins the track battle at the end of the day. This is an overall battle. It's a win. It may, sound like some people are guaranteed to get that money, but truth be told, it's a time attack session. Anything can happen. If you're in the top 12, you absolutely have a chance to take that money home. You know, and I missed it, guys. Ray Guerrero at a 101.427 on his 5th lap. Ray has just consistently been dropping time in this session. You know, it's hard to just go out there and send it 10/10ths when you're not necessarily as comfortable as can be, but we've been with Ray for quite some time, and when you tell him this is your last chance to go out there and go fast, he's going to pull everything he can in that session. Looks like Ernie Ramirez has come in on track. Is going to be Josh Tangy and Ray. While they're finishing their cooldowns, I think JD found Tim Shepner down there. He was able to go faster. Let's see how Tim feels about his overall event and all the struggles he went through to get to this second place.
Standing here with Tim, second place limited class with the 59.0, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Tough weekend. It was definitely rewarding though, man. Last session, I was working for it, man. Finding speed where I could find it, but just not quite enough to take out old Ben there in first place. And shout out to him and congrats to him. I think he secured first place, I believe, yeah? So yeah, shout out to Ben, man. But hell of a weekend, man. Thank you, Sin. Thank you, PPIR, GTA, everybody.
Appreciate it. Thank you. I mentioned this before. You guys got the full situation this weekend too, meaning, you know, broken parts.
Yeah, we experienced the time attack lifestyle, man. The highs and the lows, and I think that's for any type of racing, man. Some weekends are great, some weekends are worse, some weekends are better. But honestly, even a bad day at the track is a kick-ass day.
I agree with you. It's a beautiful weather today, beautiful area. We got the awards at 11:30. And then we've got the night battle that you're definitely going to be
for that. Yeah, I'm stoked for that, man. I'm gonna see what we can tweak on the car to see if we can go faster.
Awesome. That's right. And in the night battle this evening, the cars are not classed by class. That's out the window. We're just doing safety, and that's it. Therefore, if he had a pair of slicks, he's not allowed to run them in limited, but in the night battle tonight, he could.
Yeah, I could. I'm going to throw some windows in. We're going to try some aero stuff. That's about all we can try, so we're going to try it. It's worth a shot. So.
Awesome. That's what it's about.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Like JD was talking about, the track battle is exactly that. This is not for classes. These cars are out there to go as fast as possible. I believe Ben Dankers has some secret sauce tires he's going to throw at it. I believe all these competitors that came prepared for this night battle are ready to do whatever they can to go as fast as possible. And truth be told, like I said, this is not the usual you have a whole event to set a lap time. This is going to be very tight. We're going to have more cars on track than we've seen because we're going to set them up big and then just cut them down from there. So you guys should definitely stay tuned for that. That's going to be at 6:30 p.m. tonight, and that's going to be a big $10,000 payout. Now, these drivers did already miss the chance for the $10,000 to retake the overall record. You guys out there watching with your big time attack builds, I know we had a couple drivers who were here last year who couldn't make it. I've gotten messages from other drivers who wish they could have made it that have an opportunity to take that. But think about it, guys, 53,079. All you got to do is show up and take that, and you got $10,000 in your pocket. So make sure you guys make it out here next year. We will be here. We're trying to make this a staple of the Global Time Attack calendar. Also, PPIR has put nothing but love into this event. The ownership here, the management, they wanted to grow something big in the time attack community and just overall Colorado Springs community, give them something to go to every year. And obviously we have Pikes Peak International Hill Climb here every year. Now this is the party afterwards, guys. So it's been a blast so far. We got 2 more run groups. We got 5 and 6. We got group 5 lining up right now, but it's been a blast. These drivers have really shown their prowess. They've shown how they can go through the struggles and still come back and lay down some killer times. The battle in street class, the battle in limited, Cable and Dominic in unlimited, those guys were swapping spots back and forth. Dominic's team able to just eke it out by 2/10 at the very end. Cable able to pull 3 seconds out after figuring out an electronics issue. This has been an incredible event. It's been a blast. I hope you guys out there watching have had just as much fun as we have here in the tower and these drivers had on track.
Congratulations, Joaquim. Looks like third place limited class in the backup car.
In the backup car. I'm pretty excited we got it done. It wasn't what I wanted to run, but I'm happy that we got there, and apparently we got a podium.
You did break sub 1 minute, right?
That was the goal, and I was hoping to do that in the Subaru. That would have been the Subaru's first time breaking 1 minute here, but I'm happy to do it in any car.
Awesome. Now, unless something spectacular happens out there on track in one of these later groups with another limited class car, he should be sitting at third for the rest of the competition, meaning for the final. We do have awards at 11:30 today, so make sure you tune into that. Hopefully you're up there in third place. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And where can we find you on Instagram again?
And that's Sandgard the Viking. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Vikings coming from dominating the world to dominating the track experience. Joaquim and his wife out here doing a great job. It's been an absolute blast to see these guys out here. Just his wife only done autocross in the past, has only put in time on that to just show up and just chop time off of every lap in enthusiast class. For Joaquim to show up in the backup car because his Subaru had a little issue right before the event. There's nothing more heartbreaking to us than drivers who have issues either right before the event or during practice. Luckily, he was able to bring his backup car and still be able to compete. Obviously, not what he was trying to do, but you make the best of the situation you have, and he did an incredible job at that. This right here is going to be Craig Lumpson in the car 610. Craig and Zach have both been running this entire event. You know what they definitely have figured out? They have figured out cars that you can just beat up for an entire weekend and just have a blast in. Both these Lancer Rally Arts have been going nonstop all weekend. I don't think we've ran into a single issue with them. I haven't heard of one negative thing going on. These two have been out here nonstop, just posting lap times, which has been great. Same thing with Brody Matthews in his Mini Cooper. He's been out here all weekend. Now, he actually did not have fifth gear for part of this event. He said he MacGyvered it together and was able to get fifth gear working. And since then, he's actually posted his fastest lap time. Out here also, we have Paul O in his Shelby GT500 and Elijah Sahlberg in his EcoBoost Mustang. You can really see the difference in lines on that final corner. I don't think any person is going to definitively tell you what's faster. Every single car is different. Some cars want to take that wider line because taking it tight might just create too much push and then they won't get the power down. Other cars with incredibly good rotation have been taking that inside line because they're able to put the power down earlier. Looks like Brody Matthews is finding some pace. 110 first lap into a 108.573. Man, looks like he missed that, though. He was trying to turn in. He had to correct it and go straight. That right there is where you're going to lose a good amount of time because you really hurt yourself on that final turn. That's the hardest part about infields and S's, guys. You want to be clean through the S's because if you ruin one of them, you ruin the rest of them. Here's Paul O with a 111.326 on his second lap. Paul, who found us through NADA, actually is an airline pilot on his day job and is trying to pilot this Mustang around this track at a fast rate of speed. There it is, Paul O with a 109.446. He's getting it. The GT500 does a really good job as an out-of-the-box track car. No significant aero, but enough to keep the car planted. Nice little front splitter, good little adjustable wing in the back, and it just has a killer power plant. That Voodoo engine, that flat plane crank V8 is a monster. Big carbon brakes, big carbon wheels. Basically everything you're looking for in a track car right out of the box. And fine speed he did. Paul O from a 108 to a 103.516. He's just working his way up to it, guys. He found a clean runway and he sent it. Craig Lumpson came in, had his team look over the car, checked a few tire pressures, came back out. He's got a 109.525 as his fastest lap so far. And we have Brody Matthews at a 108.516. He's staying pretty consistent in the 108s this session. It looks like JD caught up with Anthony Pearson in the yellow GR Supra. He did not go out and complete a lap in his final session. He went out, did a warm-up, came straight into his own personal cold pit. So let's get with JD, see what happened. He still had a great event overall.
Congratulations, third place street class. I know it's not exactly the time that you were hoping for, but nonetheless, congratulations for the third place finish.
Yeah, I mean, you get to work with what you got. So we gave it everything, sent it out for that last session. The car has just become a vape at this point. We tried to do some stuff with the PCV, and it's just burning oil. So not going to run a session like that, not going to put the other drivers at risk. But we wanted to go sub 1 minute. We're right there, so maybe next year we'll be back at Ascend and be able to get that 59 or 58 that we're chasing.
Everything sounds great. Just don't know about that maybe part. I think we will see you next year. at Ascend, and GTA will be back too. Don't forget, we've got the awards ceremony at 11:30. We're doing an autograph signing. You can put your suit on, leave it on, over in the garage over there at 11 a.m., I believe. And like I said, we'll see you at the podium. Congratulations on third place.
I appreciate it.
I'm not sure if he used to drive a Subaru in his previous life. He said the car turned into a vape, but Anthony Pearson really doing everything he can to try and put a lap down. If you missed the interview earlier, he said he's getting overboost situations here at this elevation, and it's just creating excessive blow-by in the car. Catch cans filling up, breathers just blowing smoke and steam like crazy. So he tried to go out and go sub 1 minute. He wanted to dethrone both Rigo and Isaac Torres. Sadly, he did not happen this weekend, but that man has been wheeling and dealing that car, so he's been doing a killer job. Greg Lumpson on the lap right before that, a 107.397, his fastest lap. Paul O's is a 103.516, and Brody Matthews at a 108.040.
Congratulations, Ernie. First place enthusiast class, man. Way to go.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. I mean, we gave it all we have today, and unfortunately the track was a little hot, trying to go a little faster, but we kept P1 since yesterday, so we're good.
Held it steady, held it strong. Way to go. That's awesome. I think it was a 103.9.
103.9 was my fastest yesterday, yes. And today we're trying to PB that, but transmission issues, and the track's a little hot, so 4.1. Pretty consistent.
Right. Yeah, definitely warmer today, especially even at this hour. It's 10:30 in the morning. It feels about as warm as it was yesterday, about 3 p.m. So we're in for a hot day, which does make it tricky for you guys, right?
Definitely, yes. Especially, just waking up first sessions, there's always that dust and stuff. So we have to kind of just be on our toes, make sure our car doesn't slide too much, and nothing happens. Yeah.
Well, way to go this weekend. Way to wheel it. First place enthusiast class winner right here. See him on the podium at 11:30 when we do the awards. We'll see you over there. We are doing an autograph signing at 11. If you want to go do that, you should. First place, man. Way to go.
Thank you.
Ernie Ramirez, guys, number one in enthusiast class with a 103.908. Great lap time. We've seen Ernie really develop himself as a driver and that car over time. It's great to see him out here. It's great to see him sending it. Now, we do have Group 6 about to go out. This is the final group for the final time attack session of this event. The final true time attack session of this event. Don't forget, 6:30 p.m. track battle. There are no class rules whatsoever, just safety. If these drivers brought different wheels, different tires, if they came prepared to bring everything they got for that track battle, it's going to be a heck of a show. The winner of the track battle does come home with a check for $10,000. $1,000. So let's not miss out on that. Plus the payouts of all the class winners. This is going to be an incredible end to this event. Looks like we got Justin Miller and his ER Subaru engine, super impressive WRX, starting his first flying lap. Behind him is going to be Mr. Zach Lumpson. Looks like Justin was not able to fix whatever issues have been plaguing him this weekend. It's heartbreaking. He's been able to lay down a couple laps, but it seems every time he's on a flyer, the car is fighting him. But we do have Zachary Lumpson right here in his limited class Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Art. Zach Lumpson with a 108.908 for his first hot lap. It's a great first lap for him. Him and Craig have been fighting between the 110s and 107s all weekend. So for him to just come out and rip a 108 means his confidence with the car and his comfort has gotten better. Matt Pope is going to be crossing start finish, finishing his first hot lap. He's been doing great with that MR2 with the 2GR V6 swap. Matt with a 108.790. He's been down in the 106s, and I know he's trying to get in the 105s and 104s. Hopefully the track's still under him to be able to get to that point. Matt Pope on his second lap, able to get down to a 107.831. He did finish the last session at a 106. It does look like Zach Lumsden was a little slower with a 109.498 on his last lap. You can really tell the confidence a driver has based on how close they're willing to get up to that wall. The Lumsdens have been riding high. Every single driver setting their fastest lap has been willing to ride it high, just like Matt Pope right here. It doesn't seem like you're so close to the wall, guys, but I promise you, in the car, it seems incredibly close. A 107.883 out of Matt's third lap, just about 0.05 off of his fastest of this session. Zach finishing his hot lap, and let's see if Matt's able to get back in the 106s on this lap right here. Nice clean entry onto the bank. See if he's carrying the speed. And once again, for you guys watching at home, this is a minivan V6 swap. This is a Toyota 2GR with a 106.665. Nice V6 swap, refs to 8,000, stock ECU, ECM flash. This thing is just as reliable as it gets. Now, while these drivers cool down a little bit, I believe we have Jason down with Isaac Torres, who had first place stolen from him on the final lap of the last session that Rigo was able to go through. Let's see how Isaac feels about this event.
Standing here with Isaac, second place winner street class this weekend here at GTA's competition at PPIR Ascend. Man, congratulations, second place finish. I think it was a 59.4, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a 59.4 this morning. We did come into some issues this morning with the transmission slipping on the straight. So on the whole oval, we were just like half throttle, and it's totally all right. We came in thinking we would do around a 3.0 or 103, and we ended up beating that going into the 50s. So I'm proud of what we could collect here at PPI.
I agree 100%. You know, that's a lot faster time than what you were planning on trying to get. That's got to feel good. You were sitting P1 for most of the weekend. Of course, you were battling back and forth with your teammate Rigo back there, and he ended up edging you out. But it ends up being an all-super podium, and your team is first and second.
Yeah, we're super proud of that. Big thanks to Rigo and 915 Performance, and also a big congratulations to Rigo over there of battling out. Great battle over the weekend.
No, it really was. You know, I wish Anthony didn't have so many troubles with his Supra. You know, he ended up being third place, but he wasn't out there as often. But it was great to watch you two battle it back and forth, man. I want to thank you. The fans want to thank you. And again, where can they find you guys on out on the internet?
You can find us at Pride GTA Pro right here. This is our brand. And you'll see all our updates throughout the year, coming to Global Time Attack events, Super Lap Battle. You'll see everything there. Thank you.
Awesome. We'll see you at the autograph signing at 11 o'clock, and then at 11:30 up there, we'll do the awards, and we'll see you over there. Second place, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Man, so humble with these guys. Rigo and Isaac, they were battling out the whole time, and all they could do was thank each other for a battle. It's been incredible to watch. It's great to see teammates battling it out. I agree with Jason. I really wish Anthony Pearson could have put in a hot lap without an issue. We would have seen a three-way battle for first, but he wasn't too far off even then with his 1 minute .010, so close to the 59s. That street class was as tight as it could be. Here we are at Group 6, Session 6. This is coming to an end, my friends. We have about 45 seconds left, and it looks like Zach Lumsden is coming in. If Matt Pope isn't on track, we are going to checker this. This is going to be the end of the Time Attack portion of Global Time Attack and PPIR Ascend Music and Motorsport Festival. That's not going to be the end for us, though, guys. We have an award ceremony at 11:30. 11:30 awards, and then 6:30 p.m. we have a track battle. Remember, guys, the track battle has $10,000 on the line for whoever wins that. You may think you know who's going to win, but when it comes down to just setting a lap time in one session, you never know what's going to happen. They have to do it over 3 different run groups. It's going to be exciting. So stick around. Make sure you're here for our awards at 11:30. We're going to go ahead and call that the end of the Time Attack session here at PPIR. It looks like JD did catch up with Elena Sandgaard. She did finish 3rd in enthusiast class. She was chopping time every single time she went out there. Let's hear how Elena felt at the end of this event.
Elena, congratulations. 3rd place finish enthusiast class. First GTA competition, and you get 3rd place in enthusiast. Way to go.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited, and I'm excited to be up there, and my husband's going to be up there with me, so that makes it even better.
Yes, Joaquim got 3rd place in limited class. Helena here, his wife got 3rd place in enthusiast class. So both 3rd place winners, both going to be on the podium. That's pretty special.
Yeah, it's super special, and it's something I've wanted to do, and it's my first time out really doing something like this, where it's a competition like this where you can podium and stuff. So I'm super stoked to be up there, and I feel like I worked for that spot up there. So.
You did, and congratulations. We really appreciate you coming out and competing. Way to do it out there.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, that's going to be the end of Pikes Peak International Raceway and Global Time Attack's Ascend Music and Motorsport Festival Time Attack Competition. We will have the award ceremony at 11:30 a.m., but don't forget that's not the end for us, guys. 6:30 p.m. tonight. Night Track Battle. That's going to be the top competitors competing for $10,000. That's a pretty big purse, if you ask me, in any kind of racing, let alone Time Attack. So these drivers are getting reared up, getting ready to go. And until 11:30 on the podium, we'll see you then. But please be sure to come back at 6:30. That's going to be as exciting as it gets. This is Cuban Rodriguez out. Thank you, everyone that's been watching so far. I'll catch you at 11:30.
モータースポーツで得た高度な技術をすべてのレイズホイール一本に込める魂は永遠に変わらない。ビヨンド・ザ・レボリューション。ザ・コンセプト・イズ・レーシング。
Link is the engine management solution for champions the world over. We know what it takes to win, pushing boundaries, performing under pressure, and having the best people on your team. Our tech support are performance specialists, available 24 hours and ready to talk one-on-one about your winning formula. Link ECU. The performance, reliability, and power to get to the podium.
550 on the 5 stick, you can get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 stick, you can get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hater plotting my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine.